There's that period of time in your career, right, where you hired a cover band essentially to open for you guys and do the songs that you didn't want to do anymore.
I think hire's not quite the right term, but
what would be the appropriate term?
Marcel Duchamp would have said that it was a ready-made. Okay. It so happened we were here. We did a week of promo interviews, which was to explain why we were not going to play any old material when we came to tour here in 1987 with The Ideal Copy. As it happened, the last in-person interview we had was with Jim DeRogatis, who's now become a rather successful author, broadcaster. And he said, some friends of mine, we've got this Wire cover band. And I was like, yeah. And he said, we play Pink Flag. I was like, so do you play the Gaps? He said, yeah, we play the Gaps. And I said, so what happens after side one? He said, well, the bass player says side two. So we went, would you like to play with us when we do a warm-up at Maxwell's in Hoboken, because that's where they were from? And he said, yeah, we'll do that. Then we said, will you do the show? I think it was at the Roxy here. Well, about 2 weeks after we got back to the UK, our manager, Brian, came into the bar one day and he went, you won't believe this, but the guys have taken their vacations because they've never seen America, because they're Americans, and they want to do the whole tour. So they kind of volunteered themselves. And the first show was in Philly, where Duchamp's collection is, and it was, yeah.
So it wasn't like a massive statement at the time. It was just sort of this organic thing that came together and seemed fun.
Kind of, but also,
it was perfect.
We were well aware of the fact. I mean, they weren't a Wire cover band. They played
an
Pink
original
Flag.
piece. Yeah.
That was that, and also you've got to realise this is '87. Nobody was doing Don't Look Back shows. Nobody played their album in order, and certainly nobody had another band who played their album in order open for them. So it was kind of.
It was hilarious.
It was an interesting thing to do. I mean, the issue was, of course, that, I mean, there was a massive disconnect between where American taste was at that point and where British and European taste was. We were much more towards electronic music, a kind of cleaner, leaner sound. America was still kind of pretty much under the throes of hardcore, which was, as far as we were concerned, punk rock. Therefore 70s and kind of old-fashioned. So it was a really, we would have, I don't think we'd have been able to actually go and play 70s material at that point. I don't think we would have had the mindset to be able to do it. And so it was a weird situation where some people actually thought that the other band were Wire.